Um, okay, so we're on the top of Nun Aleph Amud Aleph. Yeah, by the two dots. Continuing in the through the mission of the Chazakas. Not for an Isha benichse baila. Right, a man, a woman, I'm sorry, can't make a chazaka on her husband's property, right? She's married to the guy. So she's allowed to live in his, obviously she's allowed to, she's married to him. So she's allowed to live in any of his places, right? So how could she now go after 3 years of marriage, say, oh, I bought it from him, right? Obviously you can't make a chazaka for that because the husband's going to say, what do you mean? She didn't buy it from me. I didn't say anything to her. She's my wife. That's what it says, pshita. It's Pashat, right? Fourth line, 5 lines down. Pshita, kiven the Islam Mazaini, since she's allowed to, she gets fed from her husband, Mazaini, who the Ka'afla. So her husband's assuming that she's eating her food, what she has. So when it answers, Latricha, we're talking about where he was meyachid her one specific field for her food. So since he specified one specific field for her food, and she was going and eating in a different food, a different area, so then he should have said something. Why are you eating from this area? Elamai, he didn't say something, therefore she gets a chazaka. I'm sorry, she still doesn't get a chazaka. We would have thought that maybe she does. Kamashon, she does not, because the husband's not expected to tell her that. So the Gemara asks, Haraya yesh, but let's say she brings a raya that she taka bought the field. We're talking about where she just says, I have a chazaka and I bought it, and she doesn't have any proof. But let's say she taka shows proof. Does that mean that she gets the field? Maybe the only reason why the husband agreed to buy to sell the field to his wife, again, the wife's finding that she bought the field from the husband. So if she doesn't have any proof, so we don't believe her. If she has proof, it's masha we believe her. Oh, but why aren't we chayshid that the husband really didn't sell her the field? Really, the husband, she had money that really belonged to the husband, or there was hidden money, and he wanted to get it out of her. So what he did is he made up a story that he's selling her the field, but really he didn't mean it. Right? He never meant to sell it to her. Right? So again, yay, haraya yesh. If there's a raya, then she gets to keep it. Why don't we say that that he's doing it to be megalit, to reveal the money that's being hidden from him? Shamas Mina. So we hear from this. Somebody sells a field to his wife. Kansa, she is kainet. And we don't say this rule must be right. If we're saying that if she brings a proof, she gets to keep the field. That means we don't say that the husband really didn't mean to sell her the field. What he meant to do was just to get some money out of her that she was hiding. Senghor says, "Lie. That's not. We cannot prove from here that we're not concerned that the husband was just selling her the field in order to get money out of her. If she brings a raya with the shtar matana, then she gets to keep the field. So it's not really a sale. Meaning a shtar matana, the husband, what is the husband? Why is he giving her a shtar matana if he didn't really mean to give her the field? Elamai gave her a shtar matana, so that's it. So Amalei Rav Nachman Ravuna, so Rav Nachman said to Ravuna, Lo have a mar gavon ba'orta betchuma. You weren't with us last night in this town, within the tchum of the town, right? So it's interesting, Rashbam here. The Rashbam, it's probably about a little more than halfway up. He says that their yeshivas were at the end of the tchum. Why? Why they put the yeshivas at the end of the tchum? So that many people can come to the yeshivas on Shabbos. So if you put it at the edge of the tchum, it'll still be in the tchum of maybe of other towns, right? If you make it within inside the town, then people won't be able to come. You leave it there, you put the yeshiva in the outskirts, then other people will be able to come to the yeshiva. Okay, so that's what it means by that. Lo have a mark avon ba'orta betchuma. Tamrina and Mili Malaya said that we said some great things. Yeah, Amrale, my Mili Malaya said Amri. So what great things did you say? So he said, if a guy sells a sada to his wife, Kansa, she's kainit, we say that it's taka, a real purchase, the husband did plan on giving it to her, and it's legit, right? So he said back to him, Pshita. Well, it's pashut that the mechir is a good mechir. The husband sold the field to the wife. We're concerned that he really didn't mean to sell it. He just needed to get this money that his wife was hiding that really belonged to him. So the way he rigged it, we said, okay, I'll sell you the field. Then he's going to take the money, and he's not going to give her back. The field doesn't really belong to her because he wasn't legit. All right, again, it goes with this underhandedness that the Gemara seems to say is allowed in order to get what's rightfully yours. That's just another proof of that. So either way, so the Gemara says, "Amalei pshita dal zuzimei hacha." Even if you take away the money, v'tikni b'shtara, then she should be kind of with a star. Didn't we say that nechasim that have achrayas, that have responsibility, which is land, are niknin b'kesef, b'shtar, and chazaka? Right, so meaning this, you even want to say that the money the husband took was not legit. He was just doing it to get what's rightfully his. But there must have been a star. The Rashbam says most fields get sold with a star. So there must have been a star. So why isn't the star a Kenyan? So he said back to him, did we not learn on this? Amar Shmuel, we only said it by a star matana. But by a sale, a star mecher, until you give money. So bottom line is a star does not work unless it has money along with it. Okay, so I'm going to ask, didn't Rav Hamnuna ask a kasha onto Shmuel from this? Because how? B'shtar ketza. How does a star work? How do you do a kinyan with a star? You write on a piece of paper or parchment or on a piece of earthenware, even though the parchment and the earthenware are not worth a pruta. My field is sold to you. My field is acquired to you. Nesunalach, the Bach changes it to Harezu mechurav nesuna. That means it's given over. So you see that a shtar does have the power to transfer ownership of a field, having nothing to do with money. So what did he mean? So Gemara says, "V'lav hu ma'asav lav hu mefarak." Didn't he ask this question himself? And he also answered it. So that's talking about where he sold his field because it's so bad. Basically, he's liquidating. So when a person sells a field because he needs to liquidate it, then Taka doesn't care. He doesn't need to have money. Meaning, when you're doing a regular sale of a field, so then you're going to want to get money. But if you're just trying to get rid of that field to whoever it is, then that field then you'll just get rid of it even with a shtar. So in that case, a shtar works. So basically what we have is when somebody's selling a field legitimately, so then he needs to take money and a shtar. When he's just trying to liquidate, then a shtar is just enough. Rav Ashi Omar, Matani has a different shop. Matana, Bikash Litnulai. Rav Ashi says, really, the person wants to give the field as a matana, the seller or the giver. Right? So then why did he make it a mechira? Why did he write it with the lashon mechira? In order to beautify his strength. Right? Meaning, it's always, when you get a field as a matana, and then there's a lien holder that comes along. So the first field that's going to go is the field that the person who got it didn't do any work to receive it. Right? Which would be a guy who got a field in matana. So we say, hey, what? This guy gave you away his field. He owes me tens of thousands of dollars. So give me that field. Right? So by him changing the shtar from a shtar matana to a shtar mechira, so then that upgrades the field for the person that took it. And then if he defaults on the loan, they're not going to come after this guy any faster. Okay, fine. So then the Gemara continues. So we have a kasha that we said that we hold that when a person sells a field to his wife, he didn't mean to really sell it to her. He was taking money that rightfully belonged to him. So Meisver, we have a kasha from a brisa, loivim in a eved. If somebody borrows money from an eved, the shichru, and then he frees the eved, meaning so he owed the eved money, and now he frees the eved. So loivim in eved shichru mina isha v'girsha, or he borrows money from his wife and then he divorces her, right? Which I imagine, unfortunately, probably does happen. The husband just doesn't give back the money to the wife, right? Ein lahen alav klum, they get nothing. They don't, meaning he does not have to give the money to his slave that he just freed, and he does not have to give the money back to his wife that he just divorced. My timer. What's the reason? Isn't the reason that the reason why he borrowed money from his wife was not because he thought he really wanted to borrow money, but she owed him money. She had money of his that was hidden. And his only way to get it out of her was to say to her that he's borrowing from her, even though it was an underhanded way of him getting the money that he believed was owed to him. Whatever it is, so what do you see from this? That we are chayshid that when a husband takes money from a wife, it's because he's really owed it. So my answer is now you can't compare borrowing when a husband borrows money from his wife to a husband selling a field to his wife. Why? Because Shani Hasam, the loy nichale l'shavi nafshei eved loy v'leishmal. Right? That's a pasuk. Is that pasuk again? Mishle. An eved, a person is a loive, a borrower is an eved to the lender. Right, so meaning if the husband needs to get money out of his wife that she rightfully owes him, so then to sell her a field, okay, he looks, he's doing, he's pulling shtick, but it's just a sale. But to make himself look like a Baal Chayiv to his wife, that he's not going to be willing to do, even though he's trying to get what's rightfully his. Meaning a husband that's trying to get the money that's rightfully his is not going to be willing to borrow money from his wife for that reason, but he will be willing to sell a field, at least fake sell a field to his wife. So there we can't bring any rayas from borrow. Okay, so then Shalach Rav Huna bar Avin sent Hamoicher Sadele Ishta. If a guy sells a field to his wife, Kansa, she's kainit, Antom pays now. Ubal Eichel Paris, and the husband eats the Paris. Obviously, need a little bit of background there. Even if a man sells a field to his wife, so as we know, any property that the wife brings into a marriage goes to the well, at least the use of it goes to the husband. So even if the husband sells one of his fields to his wife, he gets to eat the fruit of the field as long as he's married. Right? Like the Rashbam says, no different than if she yarshins the field. If she yarshins something, then he gets to eat the Paris. Right? I actually had this. I had a woman married a long time going through a divorce, and they have I don't know, she yarshin something, some Yerushas, and they made some rental income, and now with the divorce proceedings, she wants to get some of it. So she's clueless about the halacha. And I didn't want to be the one to tell her, like, I said, I'm not experienced enough how all these things work, but sure sounds like it's the payros, and your husband is entitled to those payros, and he does not have to give it to you. Right? But again, I don't know if we look at rental like it's payros or not. But the din is that the wife brings in a property or yarshins a property, whatever it is, the husband eats the payros. Right? The husband gets the payros. So that's not part of splittable income. Right? Okay, whatever it is. But that's what, so the Gemara here is saying the guy sold field to his wife. It's considered sold, but the husband could eat the payros. That's shita number one. Beram, however, Rav Ava and Rav Avo, b'chol gedolei hadar amru. Rav Ava and Rav Avo and all the gedolei hadar. Right? I don't know why Rav Ava and Rav Avo get singled out from the other gedolei hadar, but Rav Ava and Rav Avo b'chol gedolei hadar amru b'matana Bikesh litnoila. Really, he meant to give it to her as a matana. And why did he write it to his wife as a sale? To be miyafer koyach, like we said on Amar Aleph, right? When she gets it as a matana, so then if there are lien holders that come after him, so then here's actually where the guy actually likes his wife. We said if you give something by matana, the lien holders are going to go after the matana first. But if it becomes a sale, then they don't go after the sale first because there's a bunch of people that probably bought land, right? So the shaila is like this. So again, this guy sold his karka to his wife happily. So the first shita says she's kind of like a regular field, and Mamela he gets eat the payers. Oh, we should have said this before. When a husband gives a wife a field as a present, then he doesn't get the payers. We're going to see that a little further down, but we need that piece of information for right here. So Rav Abba and Rav Avo say, and the Chol G'day say, no, it was really meant as a matana. So therefore, since it's meant as a matana, the husband is not allowed to eat the fruit. Oh, so if it was meant as a matana, why did he write that it's a sale? He wrote as a sale just to strengthen his wife's position, because now if the lien holders come after him, she won't be first in line to have to give it up like she would be if it would be a present. So that's a machlokes. Yeah.
I think the reason it's singled out Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Avo is a classic Rav Aaron Gemara here. Who are they arguing on? They're arguing on Rav Huna bar Avin. So those are the ones with similar names. You have Avin, Abba, Avo. That's why it singles them out. The Chal G'day, they all have different names.
You really think that's what it is?
I mean, it's a classic if it's true.
That would be an interesting shot.
Actually, I appreciate it, but that's too wild for me. That's too out there.
I can't say that that's Pashup shot. But anyway, so that's the machlokes. Well, again, this whole thing is basically the theme of this this block is when a husband does this with his wife, sells her karka. Do we think that there's an ulterior motive here or not? Do we trust what he's saying? Trust what he's doing or not? So Meisvei said, asked the kasha, fourth line down, loivim in a eved. If somebody borrowed from an eved, the shichrurum in a isha. We just had this on Amar Aleph. Same kasha. If a master borrowed from a slave, and then he freed him. Mina isha v'kirsha, or from a wife, and he divorced her. Ein lein alav klum. He has nothing on them. He does not have to give them back the money. My timer. Why? He's just trying to reveal the money that they're hiding from him. The Eved was hiding money from him, or the wife was hiding money. So this is his way of getting it back by borrowing from them and then not giving it back to them after the divorce or after the freeing. So you see, we are concerned that a husband is pulling shtick. So it's a kasha on both shitas. This price is a kasha on both shitas. Both shitas at least thought that the husband had some seriousness to it. It was just a matter of whether the husband meant to give it to the wife as a present or he meant to sell it legit. This Bryce is saying, no, he never meant to do anything legit. He was just trying to get himself some money. So my answer is the same teretz as it was on Amar Aleph. Shani Yosam, there is different. A husband or a master that's trying to get back his money, he'll be willing to pull shtick with a sale, matana, and all that. To go so far as to make himself look like a bachayv, that the male ego is too much. Too much. The male ego, even if he needs money, is not going to be willing to look like a bachayv to his wife or to his eved. Right? Because then that's what the pasuk says. Eved loive l'ishmav, because an eved is a loive is an eved to the mal. Fine. So Amar Rav, the Gemara continues. Again, the same thing. If somebody sells a sada to his wife, kansa, she's kainit. Va'abal oichel peres, and the husband gets to eat the peres. But if he gives the field as a matana kansa, she's kainit. Ve'ena bal oichel peres. and the husband does not get to eat the payros. Yeah. So Rabbi Elazar Amar Echad Zeh v'Echad Zeh concept, and Rabbi Elazar has a different shita. He says both of them she's kaina, bein abal oichel peiros, and he doesn't eat peiros. Right. So he's the most chomer. Right. So saying he's holding it straight up, or he has his own thing. Yeah, he's going with the Gedolei Ador. Right, he's going with the Rebbe Elazar is going with those Gedolei Ador.
No, he's arguing with them.
What?
He's arguing with them. The Gedolei Ador is saying that even the case of Mecher is really a matana, but he wrote it as a Mecher Gedolei Apos Koifel. He's saying even a real Mecher is that he doesn't get paid.
No, it means he holds it a matana. If the Baal doesn't eat peiros, that means it's a matana. A Baal only eats peiros when it's a sale. A Baal doesn't eat the peiros when it's a matana. Right? At least that's what we're meant to understand. Right? So Rabbi Elazar is saying that she's kind in both situations, and the Baal can't eat the peiros. Why? Because he holds that it's really a matana, right? It's not a mechir. Fine. So over Rav Chisda, yeah. So that's a machlokes. So over Rav Chisda Uvda Rabbi Elazar. Rav Chisda, when he had the shaila come in front of him, he did like Rabbi Elazar. Amar le Rabban Ukva, Rabban Nechemia, b'nei Bonsei, the Rav Chisda. So Rav Ukva and Nechemia, Rabban, right? They're called Rabban. Now you don't see that often either, no Geshem. They were his grandchildren from his daughter, right? B'nei Bonsei, the Rav Chisda. So they said to Rav Chisda, Shavik Ma Rav Ravi, you're leaving Rav, the great Rav, who was their grandfather, Bava Kizutri, and you're doing like the small rabbis, who's Rabbi Elazar, that you should be paskening like Rav. Now the Rashbam goes through exactly the whole hierarchy over here. Yeah, but whatever it is, they're telling him that you should not be paskening like Rabbi Elazar. You should be going with the Gadol. Amalei. So he said back to him, Anonami. Take out the vav. Anonami kirav Rabbi. I'm also going like big people. Because when Ravin came, he said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Echad Zeh Kansa, Beina Baloichel Peiros. Right? The Rashbam says because Rabbi Yochanan was just as big. Rabbi Yochanan was a chaver of Rav, and he was just as big. So he's saying it's very nice that you're telling me to go with Rav over Rabbi Elazar, but I was going with Rabbi Yochanan. So Amarava Hilchasa. So the halacha is. So what's the bottom line? If a guy sells a sada to his wife, like kodza, she's not kind of it. And the baal gets to eat peiros. Right. So let's make sure we have this straight here. Again, he was passing that if a husband sells a field to his wife, she is not kind of it, and the baal can eat the peiros, because we're clearly saying that she does not. He's selling it for just to get money. He doesn't really mean to sell it. The matana, but if he gives it as a matana, then she is kaina. And the baal does not eat the peiros. So Gemara says tarti. It's a stira. You can't have both. Is she kind in the field? Or is she not kind in the field? Right? If you say that she's not kind of the field, so then that's it. She's not kind of. But if you're going to go with the second by matana, she's kind of the baal eats the peiros, so then that's a stira. So Gemara says tarti. You're saying these two things. Like kasha, it's not a kasha. Kanva is tamunin. One is talking about where the money was hidden. Right? He didn't know that she had any money. Yeah. So Memelo, since it was hidden money, he had no idea where it was. So the only way he's going to get his money is if he does this sale. But where the money wasn't hidden, he knew good and well that she has the money. Then he didn't mean to try and finagle the money out of her. He was he because he knew about the money, which I can't say I understand the svar, because let's say he knows about the money, that doesn't mean he's ever going to get the money, right? So just because it's talking about one, let's just talk about a practical case. One is talking about where she has the money sitting right there on the counter in the kitchen, and she says, "That's my money." He knows it, and he's trying to get it from her, and for whatever reason, he's not getting it from her. So in that case, when he sells her the field, the sales is legit, right? Um,
in the general case, wouldn't we just tell him to take the money? Just take it.
right. So then what? So what's going on?
That's why the sale's a sale. He has no excuse. I wanted the money, so take it. So the fact that you're selling it is not a way to get the money. All you have to do is reach out and take it. When the money's hidden, he has no choice. He can't just reach out and take it. He has to get it through Ramos. So he sells it to her, but it's not a real sale.
I'm saying, but is he getting the money? Is he not getting? I don't understand. He clearly can't get the money in both cases. So then why?
No, but it's a tine on him. Where it's not hidden, it's a tine on him that he's not getting the money. Just take it. You're not getting it.
I hear. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Damer of you, the mois tmunin loy konsa. Mois sheina tmunin konsa. Money that's hidden, right? She does not, she's not kind of the field. Mois sheina tmunin. It's money that's not hidden, then she is kind of the field. Well, she's giving him the money that's hidden, so means he knows about the money.
Well, in both cases,
How's
he
she
knows
buying
about
it?
the money. He knows about the money. She just hid it. She has it in a way that he can't just grab it. One's cash, one's not cash, whatever the case is. If it's cash, then just take it. If it's not cash, he can't just take it. So he has to go kind of sell the field, but not really.
I hear.
If there's no way for him to physically take the money, then we allow him to do this. If there is a way for him to physically take the money, this is not an excuse.
Okay, I hear. I don't know. I'm not sure how that rolls, but yeah. But anyways, okay. On that note,
See, historically, even in the Torah, we care about wife beaters, not husband beaters. Like even if she's abusing him, it's still a time to go take the money.